What's going down? How you guys doing tonight? Fine, I hope. Man, I'm so used to the camera being over here, but what's going down? How's everything going? How's your day? Had to set my phone up, so how are you guys, man? Man, it'd probably work out a little bit better if I had to clean my desk off every so often. So today, I had to go buy a new camera. Good evening, Miss Smith, Mr. Davey. Sweet. I saw that. Yeah, he just said he got some new swimming trunks. So today I had a pretty long day. I was at Nebraska Furniture Mart today. No promo yet. I'm just saying. That's where I was. And today, well, actually a couple days ago, my camera, the one that I'm using right here, exploded. So the battery pack was actually hanging out of the back. So something happened where the pressurized and it expanded and actually blew off the back door to the camera, which ironically speaking, it doesn't have a back door. So it created its own. I know, right? I'm just saying. That's what happened. And so Miss Anya and I went to, I'll put this over here. Yeah, okay, that works better. So Miss Anya and I went to Nebraska Furniture Mart to go get it figured out. So to replace the camera that I have, this one right here with you see how I can move and it moves with me. You move, I move, just like that, right? So this camera has what's called a gimbal on it. And hey, what's going on, Rebecca? This gimbal is what allows it to move. Hey, what's up, Renita? So I had to buy this, and then because I did not get a warranty for my other camera, guess what that happened? So now I'm gonna have to actually pay for them to, I guess, put a new battery in or something, whatever. But yeah, it's destroyed. So I sent that back today. In the meantime, in between time, I had to buy a new camera, which is what I'm using right now. And it still feels like the same camera because it's exactly, hey, what's going on, Bernita? What's going on, Jerry? It's the same exact camera for the most part. This thing cost 500. No, my first camera was like 500 and some change. The same exact camera, about a year later, from Nebraska Furniture Mart, is $790 some dollars. You heard me correctly. The first camera that I bought it from Sam's, and I paid 500 and some change for it. This camera here, same exact camera, $790 some dollars. Let me tell y'all why. One of the reasons is because of tariffs. Because DJI is a Chinese company. And they're the only one that I'm aware of that have the gimbal like they have. And then this time I actually bought the what did I buy, Miss Anya? You were with me. I bought the insurance to go along with the 3 years for $123, which Everything came up to like 900. It was like $20 less than 1,000. So yeah. So hopefully they just fix it, send me a bill, get it through, get it fixed, send it back, and then I'll have those cameras. Which I would love to have a couple cameras. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like that'd be kind of cool. I would not mind having a second or third camera because I have another setup over here to my left, and then I also have another one in my studio room. I actually have a studio room. When you guys come at the end of the month, I'll show it to you. But you guys will see my whole setup and all that good stuff. So that's fine, man. So either way, enough about me. How was your day? What happened? Tell me something fun. Did you guys have to spend a crap ton of money like I did? I will also say it's great having a mark card too. Having a mark card is, I'm gonna be honest with you, it's kind of like a little game changer for that. I'm like, dude, I almost didn't even want to get it. And Jessica was with me. She's like, dude, you should get it. I'm like, nah, I don't think I want it. Because every time they run your credit, because it's always a hard check, and I don't like my credit messed with. And they ran my credit, and it went down. I promise you, my credit dropped like I would honestly want to say 30 points. 30 points. And I know some of y'all are like, nah, I promise you, 30 points off that one pool. I could not believe that. And I didn't have any other pools from that. It was just that one. And then on top of that, they gave me like a $16,000 credit limit. I'm like, why would I spend $16,000 at Nebraska Furniture Mart? I'm not doing that shit at all. No, no. I do like their zero. What is it? Their zero APR for the first year. I do like that. I usually pay everything off within a month or so, but I do like that. So I don't know. Either way, how have you guys been? I'm the only one sitting there talking. I mean, what do you guys think? Jerry, Renita, Rebecca, I mean, do you like Nebraska Furniture Mart? Does that work for y'all? Like, what's going on? Talk to me. Feel like I'm over here talking. Feel like just Chris and I are talking to ourselves. Doing good. Anything in particular? I'm just doing good. Ah, okay. So I like IKEA. Here's the thing. I second that. I like IKEA as well. Um, but I don't believe that they sell electronics. But if I needed a bed, if I needed a table and chairs, I would go to IKEA. IKEA. I would do IKEA. But yeah, have you been to the one out in where is that? Over in Bloomington, Minnesota, directly next door to the Mall of America. Or again, is that just me? Said I hate him. That's pretty intense, though, Jer Bear. Did they do something to you? What is Schoenberg? I don't know what that is. I have no idea what that is. Oh, okay, okay. One of those. Okay, so it's an IKEA. I'm assuming one outside of Chicago. Oh, really? I'm sorry that they did that, buddy. You know, it's really So was it the way that you like looked? Did they try to judge your? Did they try to judge the? Oh wow. So did they just kind of just not like treat you like they didn't give a shit or like you didn't have no money to buy anything? So why even be here? Like why are you even in our store? Was it kind of like that type of situation, or were they just having a shitty day? It's a three level IKEA instead of two, and it just makes you feel more pleasant and experience, in my opinion. Okay, okay, yeah. I wanna kind of want to know what they did to my kind of want to know what they did to my Jerry Bear. Oh, okay. Oh, okay, okay, okay. So I was under the impression it was something kind of recent. Type stuff. Okay, okay, okay. I got you. It's like no, I just thought, okay. He's just felt like that towards them in general. Gotcha. Okay. All right. Yeah. That's cool. Okay. Hold on. Let me. Okay. I think we should be good. All right. So anyway, man, let's kind of get the show on the road. Welcome. My name is Fearless Cummings. I probably should have said that early on, but you know what? We're family. So hold on. So she said, "Yep, one asshole salesperson, like 13 years or more." All right, it happens. um, Fearless Cummings, your neighborhood life coach and uh, philosopher consigliere, which basically means personal consultant. And on my channel, we talk about our dreams, goals, aspirations, and problems. And my job is to give you some tools, tips, and strategies to deal with those dreams, goals, aspirations, and/or problems if they arise. How you guys been doing with keeping your word? You already know what I'm gonna ask. Because we kind of start talking about other stuff, I'm not going into everything. Oh, I love that. Yeah, I was over at uh, uh, my friend LeVay's house. and she had a small little cooking uh, fire pit. In fact, those things are really nice. Them would probably get one too. But our trees hang too low, so we probably have to try to figure something else out. But okay, everybody's cool with how you been doing with keeping your word, Miss Renita. I know you're always good, but I'm still asking anyway. And as you're answering that, you already know we're about to start. If you don't clap for you, ladies and gentlemen, nobody else is gonna clap for you either. When you clap for you, you give people permission to clap for you. So thank you guys so much. We're also clapping for myself as well. Today is day 73. Day 73, y'all. I'm just saying, man, we're inching towards it, man. We're inching towards it. And we're also clapping for showing up. Because some people just don't show up in general. So I do appreciate that, guys, so much. Thank you guys so much. Thank you, Miss Renita. And I know that you've been doing good. I almost don't even want to ask you because I know what you're already doing, but I also don't want to assume either. You know what I mean? I also don't want to assume. All right, so today we are going to talk about creating or how to build an unshakable value system. So that's what we're talking about today. Okay, grab yourself a pen and pad, all that stuff, or whatever. You already know what I'm going to say. Please focus on what we're talking about. Ask as many questions as possible because I am only here to help. I can't help if you don't throw some shit out at me. Okay? All right, but before we get started, you already know what I'm about to do. Gotta get the crowd booing at me. Because you know the only thing that gets me going is the help of my team. The help of the fearless few. Because it's only a few of us who are willing to put in that work. Say you ride, Ray Ray. Show you ride. From the depths of hell, from the snot of Jesus, can I get a hell yeah? Can my team, the fearless motherfucking few, can I get a hell yeah? Can I get, thank you guys so much. Thank you guys so much. Let me shut this off. God, it's just annoying. Shut that. Thank you so much, Jerry Bear. Thank you, Miss Renita, my mad scientist. Thank you so much, Miss Rebecca. Thank you, Christopher. Thank you, Miss Anya. And everybody else. Because apparently people show up, come in, hang out for a while, and leave. Don't even say nothing. Thank you, too. Clap for yourselves as well. And give me a hell yeah. So thank you guys so much. 2 days will be 75% done. I know. I know, man. I know. I'm just saying, like I'm not gonna lie to you, man. I'm a little sad. Like I'm here, and again, I told you guys before, I'm sad, but I'm. It's a good sad though. Okay, it's a good sad. All right, you already know what that sound is, don't we? Without further ado, it's a word of the week, sponsored by the word belief. Our definition again will stay the same as always. Well, I think I might just come up with something else. Either way, but a conviction or acceptance that's something that we choose to accept or believe to be true often without a shred of evidence. Okay. All right. So what is our daily duality? A duality means that it's always a flip side, or it's always an opposite of something. So our synonym would be assumptions. Something accepted without something accepted as truth without full proof. That's assumptions, which is the same as belief. And our antonym, which would be the opposite, will be denial, rejection of a fact, reality, and or truth. Is denial always bad? Not at all. But I'm just saying that's what it is. So all right, let's stop our little music and keep it pushing. All right, so there we are. I love this picture here. I had this picture. I don't know if I used it before, but I've already had it, and I just loved it. So now you guys get to see it. And that's really all we're working on. We're working on ourselves, not something or someone else. So 10 days, get ingredients. Yeah, that works. All right, so let's get it started. So why values matter? I'm not gonna go all the way into it because we've talked about this so often. I'm just gonna touch on the key points and we're gonna move on. So number one, it keeps you from losing yourself. Okay, that's a big one. I will also send these to you guys too, for our notes or whatever. So I'm gonna send this to you as well. Number two, it simplifies decision making. Like I said before, it does make it simple. It does make it easier, but not necessarily easy. Okay. Number three, it builds real confidence, not that superfluous or not that superficial shit. That real deep seated confidence. You know when you start crying and it's like when you cry like on the surface level, but then there's that crying when it's deep down in your guts. That's the type of real confidence we're talking about. That deep down, that old Negro spiritual type of crying. You know what I'm saying? All right, and number four, it earns respect. Mainly, I put included, but it's mainly self respect. From not only you first, but everybody else after that. Because then people get to see exactly the type of person that you are. Just saying. Whether they respect it or not is irrelevant. They'll still get to see that. Does that make sense? Can I get a hell yeah? Yes, that makes sense. Okay. All right, so step one. So here's the thing. We do not have a fun fact because I want to kind of get through these, touch on the ones we're supposed to be talking about before, so we can move on. Okay. All right. So the first step is, and please, 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 make sure you guys have something to write with, because we're gonna be doing some writing tonight. So the example is you hate being ignored or lied to. So our first step is, and I should have talked about this before, but we are now. Start with something that hurts you. Okay? Start with something that hurts you. Okay? And the example is you hate being ignored or lied to, right? But most of us do. Okay? So the question is, what crossed the line in the past and why? As matter of fact, it could be who and what crossed the line in the past and why. What did they do? What happened to you then that affects you now, still to this day, right? And the truth of it is that what hurts you often shows you exactly what matters most to you. If that makes, and I know that makes a lot of sense. Okay, what hurts you often shows you exactly what makes sense to you. So before I go to do this, I want to go back to showing you guys my values, right? Because I kind of tweaked it up a little bit today because I knew we were going to work on this. So as you guys can see this, my top five, my first one is what? Um, Caden kind of stands alone, friends, and then family, right? Caden, friends, and then family. Because Caden is that he is my heart, right? But why would he be that? And what hurt me? Well, what hurt me was growing up without family, growing up without a father, growing up in foster homes, group homes, institutions, lockups on some occasions, growing up not necessarily feeling like I was ever wanted. You see what I'm saying? So which one is this? Okay, what is that? 30? Okay. So when we talk about start with something that hurts you, today we're kind of going deep. And that's what I mean. Start with that pain. Like what the fuck happened that bothers you so much that you swore, I don't give a fuck what happens in life. I will never do this. That's how you write your values out. So for some of you who have kids or whatever, right? It's probably going to be your children, correct? Right? Then your spouse or however much, or maybe for you it's spouse and children combined. So if you say family, okay, well, and again we're going to talk about this in a little bit. What does family mean? Right? That's how you drive a lot of these points home, right? But and so this is what we're doing. Write three things that felt wrong. Just real fast. Three things that felt wrong and name the value behind them. So being left as a ward of the state, not feeling worthy, not ever being feeling loved, okay? Then name the value behind them. What's the value? Value is that to be a man of character. Huh? Well, you think that I'm always talking about like character has to be up there, this and the other, right? And again, our values and our principles, they're gonna go back and forth. So it's okay. It's okay to use them. I separate mine, but you may not necessarily need to do that. You see what I'm saying? So for me, my first one is Caden, family, or for friends and family, right? Second thing, reading, teaching, learning, right? Because when I was younger, I didn't have, um, I was in special education from kindergarten until high school. It wasn't until I was a senior in high school that one of my teachers came in and he said, dude, you shouldn't be in this class. He said, why are you in here? And I told him the truth. They tested me years ago. I didn't do well. They never tested me again. And he said, Fearless, what you're doing is you're playing it safe. That's not cool. You don't need to be in here. I begged him to just let me stay, for the rest of it because, well, I was already a senior. I was almost gone. Yeah, what harm could it do? See what I mean? So when I talk about start with that pain, man, we all got it, don't we? Can I get a can I get a hand raised? We all got some shit that we can write down, right? We all got some pain that we can turn that shit into something that's worth standing for, right? Show of hands. We all got some pain that we can turn that pain into purpose. I mean, or is it just me? I don't know. Is it just me? Uh, Christopher said, I begged to leave special education when I needed it because I just wanted to be a regular kid. And that's pain. Y'all see what I'm saying? That's the pain, right? So did you guys write down your three things? Three things that felt wrong. Write down three things that felt wrong. Let me know when you guys are done so we can move on. If you guys are just now joining, welcome to Ask Fearless. Today we are talking about oh dude, I didn't even put my banner up. How to build an unshakable value system. How to build an unshakable value system. As a matter of fact, I'll do it right along with y'all. So I'll put foster homes. I'll put felt unwanted. Number three, I will put unloved. Okay, so you guys can see mine. I don't know if y'all can see that, but that's what mine is. That's what I wrote for mine. So what do you guys have? Come on. Oh, I keep forgetting we have. Let me know when you guys are done. There we go. Hmm. So here's the thing. I don't need you guys to share it. I just need you to tell me when you're done. See, we can do this without without explaining what everything is. See what I'm saying? I don't need any. I don't need you guys to give me like an explanation, like, hey, this is what I wrote out. No, no, no. I just need to make sure that you guys wrote it. That's it. Very simple. So now, yeah. So Chris said done. That's it. Because we're gonna do something with it. I just need to make sure that you guys are doing the work. That's it. You don't have to tell me what it is. I could care less. I just want to make sure that it's getting done. Okay. Awesome. Okay. Thank you guys. And I just did mine too. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. I should have been a little bit more clear about that. My deepest apologies. I don't need to know your deep, dark stuff. I know that we're fam and we're a community, but there's some stuff that's a little personal. I totally understand that. I just want to make sure you guys are done. Okay, let's move on. All right, so number 2, notice who you respect. And again, there's a reason why we're doing this. So you admire people who keep their word, for instance. So what is it that you respect in other people? Right? And all we're looking for in this are character traits that you've seen in other people that I'll give you an example. Here, let me read this and now I'll give my examples. Um, I'm sorry, buddy. Um, so you know what? It's all good, man. Um, so all we're talking about doing right now is who do you respect in life in general, and not only who do you respect, and you don't have to tell me. You already know who they are. What characteristics do they have that you love and respect? Whether you actually know them or not is irrelevant. Um, Truth reveals what you admire reveals your values. What you admire reveals your values. Okay, so the assignment now, grab a pen and paper, is to list 3 traits that you love in people. That's what you that's what you value. That's all we're doing. Again, I like to keep everything simple. So I want you to list 3 traits that you guys like in other people. So it could be your wife, it could be the kiddos, it could be Miss Anya, it could be Mr. Christopher, it could be Miss Renita, it could be Jennifer, Yachty, Jessica. I don't care. Just write 3 traits that you love about these people. All right, Jerry Bear's done. What about you, Miss Renita? And Jerry, the first one is to start with what hurt. So 3 things um, that really matter to you. So these are things that really hurt you, that you still carry with you to this day. Like 3 things. And again, you don't have to tell me what they are. It's not a thing. Sure thing. All I want to know is that you're done. That you wrote 3 things that kind of hurt you. And then what we want to do is once those, so if you felt unloved, underappreciated, um, whatever that 3rd thing is for you, okay? Write those things down. So really dig in, grab that fucking pen, throw that motherfucker out of the house, throw it outside so you can see it. Write that shit down. And then write down the value that's behind it. So for me, it was foster homes, felt unwanted, felt unloved. So then what would be the value? that would usually kind of go behind that. So the values that would go behind that is belonging, belongingness for both, and then being loved, right? So that would be that the values for that pain for me. Hence, when you look at my values say my son, and then my principles will say to be the best father that I can be, right? Because of the fucking pain that I still feel. It hasn't gone away. I still feel that shit. I just want to make sure, and I feel it. I keep it, so I make sure that he doesn't have to experience that or observe his father not being around. If that makes any sense. And then the second thing, thank you guys. You're already done with that. Okay, perfect. All right, so number 3 is name your deal breakers. Name your deal breakers. Hold on one sec, because I want to do this with you. So for mine, oh my God. Um, oh my gosh. Give me one second. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not going to tell you how to do something that I'm not going to do with you. So, um, so my second one, because this is number 1, this is number 2. Okay, this 3 people, 3 traits. Okay. Oh my gosh, shoot. So got it. Uh, okay, and my third person. Oh my God. Oh, um, um, Aurelius. Okay. Okay. Got it. Sorry about that, guys. So again, like I said, I'm not gonna have you guys do shit that I'm not gonna do right along with you. So what I wrote for mine, you don't have to tell me yours. I'm gonna tell you mine. What I wrote for my second one was um, notice who you respect, right? So I wrote, this might seem kind of funny, but whatever. Um, Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Uncle Phil from the Fresh Prince of Bel Air. Okay. Why do I name him as one of those people that I left? Oh my gosh. Hold on. Okay, so Uncle Phil, Fresh Prince of Bel Air, leader, extremely educated. Um, still, he was extremely professional when he needed to be, but he was also down to earth when he needed to be as well. Another person was, and I'm just throwing this out there, Phil Dunphy from Modern Family. Love that dude. I love the playfulness of him, but the seriousness of the way that he felt about his family in general. Um, my uncle Ortez, it's a real person. My uncle Ortez, one of the best men that I know. Been married to my aunt for over 30 some years. Raised 2 kids, both college graduated, both out the house. Neither one of them have any debt. Like, like when I think about being a father, he is the man that I try to emulate, right? Um, Malcolm X, loved him because when he was in prison, one of the things that he did was he read all the time. Yeah, he's the one who coined the phrase That if you want to hide, if you want to hide some information from a black man, put it in a book because he'll never open it. Now, this is Malcolm who said this, right? Well, and as you can see behind me, he wasn't talking about me. And I made that my point that that I would dedicate my fucking life to reading and opening my mind as much as possible. And then Marcus Muhammad Ali, because Ali could have been given a king's ransom, and he turned it down time after time after time after time, because of his beliefs, because of what he valued. While everybody else around him that were, to me, lower caliber than him were making millions. He suffered for people, for a whole group of people, and he didn't have to. Get out of here. And then the other person, or whatever, is Marcus Aurelius, which he was a general and a Roman philosopher. And he was literally one of my favorite people in life. He's the one who wrote Meditations. So, again, I just want to tell you what mine were and why. I know I said three, but, whatever. So you don't got to tell me yours, but I am going to share with you mine. Is that okay? Is that okay with you guys? Just so you guys can understand where we're all coming from. Okay, Chris said he was an amazing dad, even treated like his son, yelled at Will father, and he will not let you down. Okay. Who are you talking about, Chris? Are you talking about Uncle Phil? You know what? Now that I think about it, I never looked at the Cosbys as that. Now, I don't know if that's weird or anything, but I mean, I think that I grew up with them, but I didn't grow up with them. Fresh Prince was more or less like the thing that I watched. It was the Fresh Prince. I mean, in summertime, what? Oh my God. That song came out when I was 12. I'm 46, and I still listen to that song. Here's the thing. I love the song. Not too fond of the guy. And here's the thing. I'm not too fond of him, not only for the Chris Rock thing, but if you ever read his book and then think about the Chris Rock thing, anybody who read that book before he's put hands on Chris Rock, you'd have seen that coming. You'd have seen it coming. Listen to what I'm telling y'all. You would have seen it coming. I saw that happening when that book came out. I read it. Amazing book. Amazing book. But let me tell you something, because I read his wife's book too. Okay? They're both good, just for different reasons. Okay? His wife's book, to me, is a little bit more salacious, but good. She said that when Will went up there and slapped him, her and Will weren't even living together. They hadn't been living together for a couple years by that point. A couple years by that point. She said, I don't know why he went up there and did that, because Chris was our friend. It wasn't like that we didn't know him. So she said, whatever issues y'all got with me about him hitting him, y'all need to take that up with Will, because I didn't have nothing to do with that. Just saying, I thought it was an amazing. They were both good books. Just in case you guys are wondering. Good books. Okay, so number 3, name your deal breakers. Okay, so example, you won't tolerate being disrespected. Right? Right? I mean, or are you guys okay with somebody treating you like shit? Can I get a hell no? Let me get a hell no. Instead of our usual hell yes, let me get a hell no. Okay, Christopher said, I love Red Foreman because he came across as mean, but if you pay attention to the show, he cared most about. And you know what, Chris? He was also there too, all the time. Like he was always present. He knew what they were doing and still gave them leeway. I agree. I like Red too. Oh shit. Miss Redina said, hells no. And that's my number one deal breaker. Okay, cool. So example, you won't tolerate being disrespected. Okay, question. What am I done accepting from anyone, including me? See how that wrote that? Including yourself. True. Strong values show up in what you will not allow. Your values come from what you will not allow. Right? Let's say 18. Okay, 18. Here, let's go into mine again. Okay? I'm not gonna you think I'm gonna let you treat these people any kind of way. Learning, teaching, reading. So that's what makes me happy. That's my happy place. Anything that doesn't rock with that, I can't mess with it. Anything that rocks this piece, I can't mess with it. Stay solid in my principles and my character. Helping other people find an inner character, inner clarity, right? These are deal breakers. I'm not breaking on any of these at all. I'm not breaking on any of them. So that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, let's go back up here. Okay. We don't break on none of them. Okay. All right. So you already got that one. So, okay. So, number three, sorry. So, do this. Write three things that you won't tolerate anymore ever. Ever. All right. So, I'll start mine first. All right. Three things that you will no longer tolerate ever. Write them down. Tell me when you're done. I'm going to tell you what mine are. You don't have to say nothing. I just want you to write them down. Okay, I'm done. Tell me when you guys are done so we can get started. Now, I'll tell you exactly what mine are. Matter of fact, no, here. I'll write to you. I'll write mine. All right, so here's mine. Number one, working for W-2. Working for other people, that shit's out. Cool. Working with people is one thing. Working on a contract basis, that's something totally different. Having somebody else as my direct employer, where they can tell me what type of car I can drive, where I can live, what type of food we can afford, whether I can go shopping or not, whether I can do. We're not doing that. That's out. Okay. And the last thing that I wrote is settling for less. I'm not gonna settle no more. Ever. Never. And something, oh my God. Oh, oh my gosh. I just wrote another thing that's what we're gonna talk about. I don't know about sometime next week. We're not fucking settling no more. That shit's out. That shit's done. Okay, what about you, Jerry? What about you, Renita? You got well, Rebecca, are you guys done? I know Chris said he's good. I'm done with mine. Let me know if you guys are done, but we're gonna keep it pushing. Okay. So number 4, turn those values into sentences. Turn those values into sentences. So instead of honestly, say, I value honesty, even when it's hard. See what I mean? Right? Now, there's 2 things that we're doing here. Okay? There's 2 things we're doing here. And there's a reason why I'm telling y'all, please write this shit out. Write it out. Because everything connects to the other. You know what I mean? Everything is connected to something else. Okay? Question. Can I explain this value like I mean it? Think about that. When I write my stuff, it's what? To be the best father, excuse me, Caden, friends, family, right? But then if you go in and you look at what um my principles are, what does it say? It's all written out. Yes? You guys catching what I'm throwing? You catch my drift? Why? That's why I'm always telling you guys, write everything. Write everything down. Write it down. Okay? So sometimes one word isn't enough, but a sentence is what brings it to life. Right? So again, going back into mine again. Now, for me, this is what I did for mine. Okay? But I also tied mine into my principles as well. If you guys remember, right? I tied everything back into that so that I never forget any of the stuff that I'm talking about. Any of it. Everything is right there, constantly. Everything. So if I'm talking about Caden, friends, family, reading, all that stuff, staying silent in my character, right? Boom, you see all top 3 talk about basically the top 2 of my principles or my values. Everything is connected interchangeably. I can't remove one without the other. Now, the deeper you go in my principles or my constitution, yeah, you could pull one thing out, you could pull this out, You could pull that out, of course. But those first few are locked in with everything else. Everything. That's why a lot of it sounds exactly the same. But that's also why I don't have to put uh, Caden and then write a whole sentence on it. Family, write a whole sentence. Friend, family, or friends, write a whole sentence. Learning, teaching, reading, all that stuff within it. Because for me, I've already anchored my shit in. I can't think without reading. That's my anchor. That's my happy place. See what I'm saying? I can sit for hours all by myself with my book. Hours. Not saying a word to anybody. Off in my little corner by myself. I'm the type of guy, I will go eat dinner all by myself. I'll go to Village Inn, sit in the corner, and just sit there and eat by myself and read my book for hours. For hours. I don't like reading at libraries though. That's odd. I don't. I don't know what it is about them. I'll go to a store, but I won't go to a library to read. It's odd, isn't it? Okay. Sorry, let's get into our stuff. Okay, so do this. So take 3 to 5 values to write one sentence for each. Again, you don't have to do 3 to 5. Just take a couple. Just take 2 values. Okay, we can do the rest. You can do the rest later. Okay, so for myself, I would do that. Um, I'll write. Mm, okay, so I just wrote for the one, um, being the best dad that I could be for Caden means everything to me. Okay, so let's pick another one. Um, I love to read, right? I love to learn. Um, so I write keeping an open mind is what allows me to sorry, give me one sec, guys. Okay, got it. All right, so I wrote keeping an open mind is what allows me to find and be in tune within myself. Okay? And keeping an open mind, right? But that's what reading does for me. That's what learning does for me. So you can take each one of those things and just write a sentence that really resonates with you, right? So one of the things that I told you guys early on when we started this was that the reason why I wanted to work for myself so much was because having to ask someone for me to take my child to a doctor's appointment just did something different to me. Again, like I said, I don't know if it was her, if it was just me, if it was just the scenery. But again, it's been years now, and I still feel charged up every time I think about that. Every time I think about that. I don't ever want some one person or one basket to have my whole entire life within it or inside of it. So I will always, for the rest of my days, be an entrepreneur. Always. I don't mind contract work, right? I don't mind that, but being a W-2, no. I mean, unless the bag and the perks are so crazy, it would be dumb not to. But even then, if it doesn't align with my values, I'm out. I'm out. And I don't give a fuck how much money it is. You know what I mean? Just saying. All right, are you guys done? All right, Chris said, I got it. Okay, perfect. What say you, Miss Renita? What say you, Jerry Bear, Rebecca? Okay, Renita says she's done. How's your mouth feeling there, Jerry? Okay. So number 5 and 6, um, are more or less showing up to actually do these things, right? So we actually technically stop at 4 for the most part. And number 5 is to basically live them out loud, right? So you say value, you say that you value peace, so don't argue with fools, right? Boundaries. Remember we talked about that? What's another word for boundaries? What do boundaries do for us? For $5, fuck that, we'll go 10. For $10, I told you guys that boundaries do something. What is what is it that boundaries do? Boundaries do something. What do boundaries do for $10? What do boundaries do for $10? They do. But I said something. I said there was a word that boundaries do. It does provide peace. But there's one. Nope. Mm-mm. I mean, and that's one of them. But no, ma'am. I said boundaries does one thing. Tap. Anybody want to tap out? Because I'll tell you. But if I tell you, y'all gonna be mad. Y'all gonna be like, man, come on. I said that boundaries do something for us. When you use them and when you have them, they do something for you. Not only for you, but also for other people too. Same word. One of y'all gonna say it. Hold on, one of y'all gonna say it. They do. They very much do. But it's one word. Anybody want to tap out? All right, I'll give you guys one more. I'll give you one. Okay, repetition, no. No, but, Miss Renita said tap. Okay, Chris, you want to tap out? So you say tap, I'll tell you. It protects us. It protects us from others, but it also protects others from us. That's what boundaries do. So when you look at this one up here, and it says that you say that you value peace, so you don't argue with fools. Why? Because when you understand what your boundaries are, it protects you. It protects you from fools. He said, "Dang it." Nah, I love. You know what? I appreciate you guys playing. All right. So questions: do my actions match my values? Do my actions match my values? Why do you think that? But when people have midlife crises, why do you think that is? Because their values are not congruent with what they say that they are. That's why they're incongruent. What does incongruency mean? They don't match up. You say you want this, but then you say you want this over here too, right? Well, actually, you say you want this, but then you're expected to do this stuff over here. And then we end up doing nothing. Or we end up doing everything. Nobody says you can't have it or do it, but that's what we do. Okay? So truth is, if you're not like living it, sorry, if you're not living it, it's not real yet. If you don't live what you talk about, then it's not real. If you don't live what you talk about, it's not real. So this week, what we have to do, and I'm gonna ask you about this, choose one way to show each value this week. So if you wrote four, just choose one, just choose one thing a day. Have you worked on your values? You've been working on your word? Have you been working on your values? Can we do that? Can I get a hell yeah? Again, because here's the thing, y'all. We gotta live them out loud. You can't say that this is what you want, but this is not what you're doing. You remember what my thing says? Number three says what? Lead by example, even if I'm by myself, even if I'm alone. That means I still gotta keep doing it regardless of who's around me. You guys feel me? You gotta keep going regardless of who's around me. Okay? But that's what I stand on. Those are mine. Okay? All right, number six. Last but not least, check in and update. Example, what you valued 5 years ago might not fit today. Question is, Are these still my values or just old habits? Are these still my values or are they just old habits? You guys see what I'm saying? We can't be fucking around with this. So if you're living certain values off of an old system, that's not gonna work. It's not gonna work for us anymore. Why? Because you're gonna keep getting exactly what you've always gotten. Because you keep doing what you've always done. And I know everybody done heard that one before. Right? We just keep doing the same stuff. Okay? So truth is, growth means updating what matters. Doing some stuff that I had to take out of my values. There's certain things that are going to change. There's some things that are just going to kind of fall out of that top five. Some things are going to fall out of that top five. Fucking happens to all of us. Something's going to happen where that top five is going to be shifted. And let's say that you got 8 or 9 of them. I assure you, some of us ain't going to have 8 or 9. Y'all feel me? You're not going to have it. Do what matters. Shave the rest of that shit off. Okay? So do this. Review your list every few months and adjust it. If you need to. Because some of you may not need to touch anything. You might be okay. All right? You might be okay. There may be nothing wrong with what y'all got going. Nothing. It might be okay. Okay? Do we agree with that? Yay, nay? What do you guys think about that? Okay, thank you. Thank you, Mr. Dady. Thank you, Miss Renita. The Baker Acre out. Hopefully you guys are okay, Baker Tribe. All right, so here's our last thing, and we get to get out of here a little early. Okay. How to build an unshakable value system. Um, I'm going to create I'm going to send this in. Okay. There we go. So I just sent it to our group thingamajigger. So I just sent it there. So if you guys have any questions, let me know. So I guess out of all of these, which ones did you guys like the most? For me, I think that mine, I like number 1, but I run more towards number 2, number 3. Yeah, so I would say 2 2 through 5. I would say 2 through 5 are my favorites because it's something to actually do. Oh, Renita said 2, 5, and 6. 2, 5, and 6. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I would go 6 too. I'm gonna throw 6 in there too. Because I do check in and I update my shit constantly. Chris said 2, 3, and 4. Okay. Okay. Chris said 2, 3, and 4. All right, I love it. I love it. I love it. Well, all right, guys, man. Tomorrow we're gonna be talking about our principles or whatever. So we're gonna have some fun, I think, with that one. Um, why they matter, and they, for the most part, they're usually to me an offshoot of our values, but we'll kind of talk about that tomorrow. Um, like I said, the rest of this um, 6 days are going to be based on value elicitation. Well, we talked about beliefs, values, um, principles will start tomorrow. And then we'll touch on rules of engagement. Dude, I think you guys, I love that. That's my personal favorite. Um, and then the last 2 days are going to be how do we put all of this shit in action? How do we put all this stuff in 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 practical action? How do we use this stuff? Okay, so this week right here is going to set the ground for it sets the ground for everything we've talked about and everything we're doing going forward. So thank you guys so much. Um, to the rest of our group, our team that couldn't be here, Ms. Yadi, Jessica, Jesse, all the other cool people. And stuff, man. Thank you guys. Um, yeah, so thank you so much, Baker Tribe, Miss Renita, Chris, Miss Anya, and myself. I will see you guys tomorrow. And you're late. And we're done. Good night, people.